How can I become a better game designer, a better artist, musician, creator? That was the question that Hideo Kojima was asked in 2008 in an Apple store in San Francisco. It was kind of a throwaway question, the kind I'm sure creators get all the time, and Kojima could have responded with a generic answer like practice daily or master the right software. And coming from him, that still would have meant something. But instead, he paused, took a moment to think about it, and what he said still resonates with me to this day. This is the best advice on creativity that I've ever heard. So in 2008, Kojima was promoting his mobile game that had just come out. And he was doing that as a part of the Game Developers Conference, which I happened to have been attending because I just graduated and I was trying to get into the industry. As a part of his promotions, he was going to Apple stores where people could play the game, and then there was a question and answer. And so me and some other people walked over there just to see Kojima in person. So I didn't really have any expectations. I just wanted to see Kojima, you know? I loved Metal Gear Solid, obviously growing up, and he's a legend then, he's a legend now, and I thought it'd be cool to just go see him and we could just walk down the street. So we did. I honestly don't remember anything from that entire day at GDC really, but I do remember someone standing up and asking Kojima, how can I become a game designer? And I remember even feeling then that it was such a low-hanging question, you know, like no offense to the questioner. I mean, I guess, you know, you're asking an awesome game designer, how do I do what you do? So it makes sense. But then Kojima took this long pause and contemplated the question and then started speaking, and I could tell how long his answer was because he's speaking Japanese, and I'm like, what is he saying? And his answer to the question, how do I become a good game designer, was to live life, to go out and get experiences, to travel, go to new places and meet new people, fall in love and have your heart broken, try new things and fail, try different foods and try different activities, because you have to live life to be able to create art and put it into what you do. It just came out of left field, I think. It's also just, I think, the right answer for doing things the right way. It still comes up in my mind when I think about things, because really what he's saying is like those kind of true artists of the past. It's living a life and putting genuine things into what you do. When we ask questions like that, how do I do this? How do I become a game designer? How do I get this job? You kind of inadvertently are expecting like step 1, 2, 3, 4, go to this place, do this thing, check this box, people give you this thing. And that's not really what it is when it comes to the creative field. And nowadays with AI and a lot of generative things, I think this message is even more important to kind of emphasize. In really what he's saying is be yourself, put authenticity in what you're doing, and the only way to be authentic is to have experiences yourself. Put what you feel is true or what you've experienced into what you do, and that's how you make something that only you can make. So I wanted to share this advice with you since it made an impact on me, and I wanted to give you these 3 ways on how you can become a better creator yourself. First thing is figure out what you actually like. Most people kind of skip this step and they just think, what should I do? Tell me what to do. What does the algorithm want? What's trendy? What's popular? But you really want to ask yourself, what do I want to make? Or what do I enjoy? What do I like? And that can be harder to do than you might think. Okay. It's a lot easier to reach outward, you know, rather than kind of looking inward and treating it like just as valuable. You have to do that as a creator. You have to figure out what you want to do, and that's reason enough to do it. You know, if you're someone that finds it hard to know, hey, what do I like? I don't know, I like a lot of things. Just think, what are some things I keep coming back to? You know, look at your past projects, look what you've done. What are the things that you naturally gravitate towards? What are the things you had the most enjoyment out of? Are there trends in the things you've done before? Are there things that you've done or that you want to do that no one's asking you to do? And pay attention to what inspires you to create in the first place. You know, what is your favorite kind of art? What are some movies or fashion or books or genres that resonate the most with you, that you're the most interested in or passionate about, or kind of make you feel motivated to make things yourself? And then ask yourself why you like things. Is it the mood or the tone? Is it the genre or the characters? Is it the vibe? Is it the message? What is it about the things that you like so much that make you like it? Those might be the kinds of things that you want to incorporate into what you make. You know, it can kind of show you what you really value in the other art that you're such a fan of. All right, the second one is to live with intention. When Kojima says, hey, go out and live life, we can't all just drop everything and backpack through Europe, although that would probably be a very rewarding experience. If you can travel, do that. I can tell you myself, traveling is a way that it just changes your life in ways you can't really explain or express. And it's just a fun thing to do to enrich your life. If you can travel to a different country, the more different, the better. But a lot of us can't do that, especially all the time. But this idea of being an explorer, that mindset, is something that can help you as you move through life and help you create things. So rather than being someone that's a creature of habit all the time, trying to assume the role of an explorer, even in your own life, even just taking a different route home from work, saying yes in a situation where you'd say no, trying out a new thing, going to a new place, just in general, trying to experience newness and not having walls up, being open essentially, and trying out life. And while you do that, observe like an artist. Take note of things. You pay attention not only to colors, but details or emotions or how people dress, how they speak, why they might be feeling that way. The more you really put energy into it, there's just so much depth and nuance and stuff that you can gather. And you want to look around and gather in details and pay attention to what's going around with you without a specific intention, without a goal in mind, just for the enjoyment of it. And there's just naturally things are going to lodge in there that really stick with you. And then when you are creating things, when you are making things, you can draw upon your own life and experience, which is the third thing. With your life and your experiences, you want to feed it back into your work. Your experiences aren't just for your memories, it's also your creative fuel and what you can draw upon when you need to fill in the gaps, when you need details, when you need nuance, when you need truth. Use your own references. If you're someone that can travel, you take lots of photos. Maybe you have a journal with diary entries. Maybe you have personal photos. Maybe you have personal experiences. You can put that stuff as visual reference or storytelling reference or experiences, or if you're someone making music, you can draw upon an emotion. There's a lot of ways you can put your own experience as your own reference. I take photo references of myself for a lot of my projects, and that's a way, again, to make it genuinely you and to kind of make this conduit between you and what you make a lot smoother, a lot straighter, instead of pulling from somewhere else. Obviously use references from everywhere, but don't forget to use your own or yourself. You also want to strive to translate emotions. That's another thing that we can forget or overlook, but drawing upon a real emotion or being specific with an emotion that you're trying to evoke while you're making something could be the spark of an idea, could be the end goal of your project, that you want to communicate emotion, or you want to recreate an emotion that you've had. That's the most common thing that artists are doing. That something happened and maybe it's a bizarre thing or made you feel a very unique emotion you haven't felt before, and you want to try and recreate that. Whatever it is, just be in tune with the way things make you feel, and that's how you can make other people feel things also. And the emotional component of art is something that I don't think should be overlooked. And again, it's a part of a good exercise of looking back and taking note of how you feel as you move through life. And ultimately, the goal here is to be authentic. AI can emulate styles. It can reproduce things super fast. That's what it's great at doing. But it can't live your life, and it can't bring those experiences into your work. AI can't be genuine. It's not how it's made. It takes in work that's been done and, combines it in unique ways and makes something from it. The more that you pull in your own personal experiences and thoughts and opinions on what something should be, what it should look like, and why, the more unique and one of a kind the thing is that you make, rather than something that's derivative. So when you're creating something, strive to be yourself, no matter what. Art isn't just about copying reality. It's about sharing your reality. Yes, we have to learn the technical side of things. That's what enables us to actually translate thoughts and emotions into something tangible. But 15 years later, his advice still sticks in my head. How do you do something better? You live life. You pour yourself into your work. You treat it like an artist would. Kojima's still out there making really awesome games, unique games that only he can. He's editing the trailers himself. I think he's still a good model for someone being creative and doing things their own way. So if you're feeling stuck and you don't know what to make next, stop looking everywhere else for the perfect formula and try looking inward. If you don't have anything to say yet, that's okay. Give yourself permission to go out and just have some experiences, live life, and enjoy yourself, and something important will come. So how can you become a better game designer or a better artist, musician, creator? You do it in a way that only you can, just like Kojima does and is still doing. So be more like Kojima, be original. Catch you in the next one.